Hi, welcome to Andrew McAfee Music. Today we're going to continue our discussion of snare drum technique by talking about our buzz roll. The key to having a strong buzz roll is having consistent buzzes from hand to hand. Each hand should produce the same amount of notes at the same speed and at the same volume. In order to make this happen, you're going to need to experiment with how much pressure you use in each of the 3 points of your fulcrum. Now, I was originally told to apply the exact same amount of pressure to each of the 3 points. However, as I practiced, I learned that my middle finger actually did the most work, and that my index finger's job was actually done after the stick made its first contact with the drum. So just do a little bit of experimentation and you'll kind of figure out what works best for your hands. To work on this, isolate one hand and play several buzzes in a row with a significant amount of space in between them. Start to compare them to each other and figure out which ones you like the most, and then start to replicate that feeling in your hand. Now, there is debate in the percussion world about if a buzz should be executed primarily with the arm or primarily with the wrist. Ideally, I feel like you should be able to do both. That way you can kind of blend the two techniques to get the sound that you want. Next, spend time slowly playing buzzes from hand to hand and try not only to connect them, but to actually get the buzzes to overlap. Eventually, you can apply your buzzes to the 8 on a hand exercise that we learned last lesson. Now, there's 2 different variations I want you to practice with this. For me, the ideal hand speed for a buzz roll is equivalent to 16th notes at 120 beats per minute. There are, of course, other schools of thought throughout the percussion world ranging all the way up to 16th notes at 160 beats per minute. I particularly don't like this sound, but you should be able to develop the flexibility so that you can choose the sound that you like. Now, regardless of tempo, when you first start applying buzz rolls to music, I would recommend using 16th note skeletons. The skeleton is the rate with which you change from hand to hand, so the hand speed. This means that depending on the note value, you're going to have to figure out how many 16th notes fit into that space. And if you're unsure of how to do this, I have a cheat sheet available. You can find a link in the description to a PDF of this cheat sheet. After you've gotten used to this, you'll start to adjust the skeleton of your buzz rolls depending on the tempo. It could range anywhere from 8th notes at 240 to triplets at 160, sextuplets at 80, or 32nd notes at 60. I would give you a cheat sheet for this, but there's already a perfectly good one in the Mitchell Peters Elementary Snare Drum Studies book, page 64 to 65, I believe. Eventually, you can just experiment with things like, at this tempo, how many buzzes can I fit into this note value? Sometimes you might try 6, sometimes you might try 7, 8, 9. Ultimately, it depends on how you feel and how you sound. After enough practice, you'll get to a point where your hands automatically play the amount of notes that you're comfortable with, even as you sight read. This sounds like a lot of work, but it can be spread out over a few years. As with anything in music, if you try to reach your end goal too fast, you're going to be unhappy with the result, and you're just going to have to go back and redo all the work that you did later. That concludes part 3 of our snare drum technique series. If you like this video, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe, but also stay tuned for more videos. I'll be posting new videos regularly dealing with a wide variety of percussion topics. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.